Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to do a review of my Joji Co bag, which I got recently. I've used it for a few weeks now and I feel like I can give you a review of it. I also want to talk a little bit about my purchase experience, which wasn't 100% positive, but we'll come to that in a minute. But some of the things that I wasn't happy about have been rectified since. So we'll talk about that as well. But I also want to tell you a bit about this bag. It's not a cheap bag, and I just want to tell you about my views on it, and so you can decide whether it's worth getting one or not, because they do come all the way from Argentina, which if you live in the UK is a long way away. They have stockists, I think, but I don't know how many places stock their bags. But we'll come to that later as well. And we'll also talk about what fits inside, what it's like to use as a project bag and things like that. So if you are new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And please leave me a comment and tell me what you think of Joji Co's bags if you've checked them out. If you've never heard of them before, let me know what you think. Is this something you would buy? Do you care about bags? I am a bit of a bag addict. I have a bit of a bag collection. I love bags, handbags, tote bags, project bags, any kind of bag. I just love bags. I got quite a collection. I don't tend to buy very expensive bags, although I'm buying slightly more expensive bags than I used to, but we're not talking like designer. I'm not buying Chanel's and Birkins and things. But I do like bags, and I do have quite a bag collection. Let's talk about the bag first, and I'll come to my purchase experience later. I'm just going to read you something from the Joji Co website, their about page. So Joji Locatelli is a very well-known knitwear designer. She's from Argentina. She's very, very popular, and if you're active in the online knitting world, you've probably heard about her. She does design some really nice things. If I wasn't a designer myself, I'd probably knit quite a few of her patterns. But because I design my own stuff, I feel like I don't have the time to knit other people's patterns, because I'd rather be knitting my own. So I'm going to just read you what it says on the About page. Joji Co is a collaborative project started by Joji Locatelli, a knitwear designer based in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Joji is very passionate about her crafts and has always been interested in making a knitter or crocheter's experience a joyful one. In 2019, she started collaborating with different makers, curating a series of very specialized and handmade accessories. The crafters we feature include leather, yarn and jewelry maker friends, as well as artisans from marginalized communities in Argentina. Every item we send out to the world is received at our home office, greeted with a hug, complimented on its beauty, and kissed goodbye. The products we share are very dear to us, as are you as a customer. So the Joji Co core team is Joji, and I think is her husband, and somebody has the same surname as her husband, so I'm assuming that might be her sister-in-law. So I think that's the three people who kind of run the company, but they don't make the bags. They use, obviously, as she says, artisans in Argentina. I must admit, I thought it was a bigger company because she's very busy designing knitting patterns. I assumed that there were more people involved in this business than there is. They sell mostly leather bags. They also have some sandals on their website. What you can see my ring light in there in the reflection. They got some very nice tote bags. They got like a double pointed needle case and some smaller project bags and things like that. I really fancy this one, but I don't know how practical that would be because it's quite holy, but I do really like that one. I really like this bigger tote bag, which is £298, so not cheap. So let's talk about this bag and what I think about it. At the moment, I have a sweater project in here. It is in my size. It's a different version of this sweater that I'm wearing. It's knitted in quite thin yarn, but it's still in my size and I'm quite big. And it's the whole, I've knitted the whole body and one sleeve. So at the moment it is quite big. Obviously it would be bigger if it was something like DK or Aran weight yarn. So I can easily fit this in here. I think if it was DK or Aran weight yarn, I would struggle to fit the whole sweater in my size in here. But you can easily fit things like a short project or several small projects. I did in a video for my YouTube channel in one of my podcast episodes. I think I put one of my smaller project bags in here, and I would be able to fit like a smaller project bags for like socks or a small shawl or a sleeve or something like that. I could easily fit that in here, plus like a water bottle and even like a little pouch with all my essentials or like knitting tools and things like that. So when it arrived, my first impression was that it was quite stiff. It has softened up a lot. So I ordered it on the 25th of January. I'm just checking my emails. I ordered it on the 25th of January. It was shipped the very next day and it arrived here. So I think it was shipped on a Friday and it arrived here on like the Monday or the Tuesday. It arrived very, very quickly. Let me just measure it. So the base is approximately 18 by 18 centimeters, which is approximately 7 by 7 inches. And the height is the same. So it is a very square bag. Bottom is square. Apologies if you heard my dog barking. He's being a bit of a pain at the moment. The height is the same size as the base. It's a very square bag. It has, the opening is slightly kind of pinched in, so whereas the base is like completely square, the opening at the top, it kind of pinches it in each corner. So the opening is smaller than the bag, so it has a slightly kind of pinched in shape at the top, which when I first got it I didn't like very much because it made it quite awkward to get stuff in and out of it because the leather was quite stiff. Now the leather has softened up quite a lot. It is easier to get stuff in and out of it. It has these short natural leather handles which will patina and get darker over time. They were very stiff when I got it, but they've already started to soften up a bit, and they have started to just go a little bit darker than they were when I first got it. But you can easily carry this on your wrist. If I was to put it in the crook of my arm, I can't do that without my sweater. And the pink sweater does have quite big sleeves, but it would, if I was wearing a coat or a sweater or cardigan or anything, I couldn't do that. If I was just wearing my green long sleeve t-shirt, which has quite tight sleeves, I can just about get it up to the crook of my arm, but it only just fits. Now, as I said, I'm not the smallest person, so, but, you know, I don't think my arms are that much, especially my lower arms, that much bigger than average. So this bag is made up of patches of leather. I think it said on the project page when I bought it, and I wish I'd screenshot the page, but I didn't think about that. But it said that it was made out of offcuts from their production so that nothing is wasted. And it's kind of like a patchwork look with the Joji Co logo on here in leather. Again, that's the same leather as the handle, so that will patina and age over time. You can fold it down. Hang on, let me just see if I can do it. You can kind of fold it flat like that. So if you want to take it on holiday with you or something, it'd be quite useful. I thought when I ordered this that I might use this as just like a handbag or out and about bag rather than a project bag necessarily. A lot of Joji's bags are not specifically, although they're sold as knitting bags, you don't have to use them as knitting bags. I could see myself taking this one out. I think if I was going to use it as a regular bag, I would have wanted it to be more rectangular and less square in shape, and maybe have something like a snap closure at the top here so that it's not wide open. Because it's square, it is quite open, so if you sit it down it kind of stays open like that, and that can be a little bit awkward when it comes to your safety. Because I'm knitting a sweater that's quite fluffy, there is a lot of fluff around the top and things here, but that's because I'm knitting a fluffy jumper at the moment. Inside it has like the raw edges of the leather. You can see the seams. There are no lining, there are no pockets or anything like that. You can just see the kind of exposed edges of the leather, and the top is kind of folded over and stitched. But there's no lining or anything like that on the inside, it's just the leather. So you've got to be a little bit careful you don't put stuff in here that's going to stain the leather, I guess. The colour is this beautiful shimmery pink. I mean, if it'd been like this pink, I would have been happier, but otherwise I love this shimmery pink. It's really, really pretty. This was part of their Valentine's collection, which launched towards the end of January. And I'd seen it on social media, on Instagram, and they had some other pink pieces in there that I really, really liked. But when I went on their website, that was the only one left that I was willing to pay what they were asking for, because they're not cheap. So this bag, let me just check my confirmation email. So it's called the Square Patch Bag, and in the pink shimmer, and it cost $118 US, and the shipping was $26.50. So it came to $144.50 US in total. I don't know what that is in UK money. I don't know what that is in UK money at the moment. I was going to just quickly have a look at my bank account and see, but I haven't got logged in. I've never logged into it on my tablet, and I'm using my phone to film it, so I'm not going to convert it. But whatever the currency conversion was when I bought it, but it doesn't really matter. But what did I say? $144.50 US with shipping. So it's not cheap, but it is leather, it is handmade, it is by a small company, family company, rather than a big international, multinational, you know, factory, if you like. So from that point of view, I'm going to pay a little bit more for that. It arrived really, really quickly. So I ordered it, I think on the Thursday, shipped on the Friday. It got here, I think it got delivered on the Monday. Might have been the Tuesday, but I think it was the Monday. Came by, I think it was DHL. Doesn't say in the email, but I'm pretty sure it was DHL. And I wasn't sure when I ordered it whether I would get charged customs fees or not, because that's what stopped me ordering before, because I've looked at Joji's bags for a long time and I kept hoping there would be a stockist in the UK. Botanical Yarns here in the UK did stock one of her bags, or maybe two of her bags, a year or two ago, I think, maybe last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember. They did have it as a limited option, but they were quite expensive. So I didn't order it because I just felt like it was a little bit too expensive and I just wasn't sure about spending that much money. But I've sold quite a few of my handbags recently, so that's why I decided I could treat myself, because I've sold quite a lot of handbags recently. So that's why I decided I could treat myself. So I don't regret getting it. I've used it every day since it came. As I said, this sweater has been living in it, and I've been working on this sweater since Christmas. Yeah, I got the yarn when I was in Norway over Christmas, and when I came back from Norway, when this bag arrived, it was growing out of its current project bag, this sweaters. When this bag arrived, I put it in here. It's really convenient because I can just put it on the floor next to my chair and then knit out of it. The ball doesn't fall out, the ball stays in the bag, and I can knit out of it quite easily, and I do like that. I haven't taken it out of the house yet. I'm meeting a friend for knitting and lunch next week, I think, so I might take it with me. I don't know whether I'll take this project with me, but I might, if I take a smaller project in like a smaller project bag, I might just pop that in there with my water bottle and whatever else I need, and then just carry like a small crossbody bag with like my phone and card wallet and essentials and things like that. So I am probably going to take it with me outside next week. It depends on whether it's raining or not and where we're meeting. If it's raining and I have to walk for a bit from the car, then I probably won't, but because it's open. But you can use it as a normal bag as well as a project bag. One of the problems I had when I ordered, and I did actually message Joji about this, it was when she was actually at Vogue Knitting Live in New York. And I checked the things I complained about. I checked it, I think it was last week, or it might have been 2 weeks ago. Bearing in mind, I filmed this on the 16th of February. So I checked the website, I think it's about a week ago, maybe nearly 2 weeks ago now, but it was like a couple of weeks after I had notified them of this problem, I think, and it hadn't been changed. But then I checked it before I started filming this, and it has now been changed. So when I first went on their website, I tend to do most of my online shopping on my phone. I don't very often use my computer for that. I do all my work on my computer, and if I do online shopping, then then I tend to use my phone. And when I went on their website, it wasn't optimized for mobile phones. The picture of the bag, some of the text was kind of on top of that picture, and it was very, very small, so I had to like really zoom in, and then I could only see part of the text. And because some of the text was over the top of the picture of the bag, I couldn't even read all the text. So it was a very, very difficult shopping experience. But I added that bag to my cart, and I went to the checkout page, and I don't have any visual problems apart from the fact that I'm short-sighted and I have a squint. I don't have any other visual problems. I can see fairly well with glasses on or with contact lenses. But the text on the checkout page was peach on a white background, and because it wasn't optimized for mobile phones, I had to like scroll back and forth across the screen to see the right bits of the checkout page, and it was quite awkward to see it, even for me who doesn't have any specific eye problems apart from short-sightedness and a squint. I was struggling to kind of see and work my way around and double check everything, because the peach on the white background wasn't very high contrast. I think anyone with like more visual problems, especially people who are partially sighted and things, would really struggle, I think, with that website. So I did message Joji about this and said that I didn't enjoy the shopping experience, basically, that it wasn't optimized for mobile phones, and that the color scheme chosen was not appropriate when we think in terms of accessibility for people with various disabilities. And she messaged me back saying that thank you very much for letting her know. She was in New York teaching a Vogue knitting live, and she would look into it when she got back to Buenos Aires. I checked, according to my notes, I said I checked about a week later. I think it might have been a bit longer than that, and they hadn't changed anything, but it has now been changed. So it is now optimized for phones. I've checked it on my phone. I've checked it on my small tablet. It's about the size of an iPad mini. And I also tried to add something to my cart and go to the checkout page, and the color scheme there has changed and it's higher contrast, so it's easier to see. So I am much, much happier with that at the moment. So I like the fact that I had a problem, I messaged them and they did rectify it. I kind of felt because she's such a big name in the knitting world, then maybe this shouldn't have been a problem in the first place, but I didn't realize that it's basically a 3-person business. I assumed it was a bigger business because I didn't realize that they didn't make their bags in-house. I thought she employed people who made their bags, which according to the website she doesn't. She buys them in from or works with other craftspeople in her area. I thought they were all made in-house, if you like. So that was my mistake. I was very pleased that my comments were taken on board and they have been changed. Apologies if you can hear my dog barking. My husband's been out most of the day, and the dog, I think, is waiting for him to come back. He's used to us both being here all the time because we both work from home most of the time, and at the moment he's being a bit of a pain. He's not had a walk yet today, and he's being a bit of a nuisance at the moment. Hopefully it won't be too bad. We're nearly finished anyway. So to sum up, another thing which I was surprised at is the fact that I haven't had a bill for the customs fees yet. So normally if you order from, I'm assuming there isn't a customs union or some kind of customs agreement between the UK and Argentina. So normally you would get a customs bill. If it was shipped by the normal postal service and it came into the UK by Royal Mail, which is our national postal service, I would normally get a notice and I would have to pay the customs fees plus their charge that they add on top, their admin fee, before they would deliver the bag to me. With a lot of the bigger couriers, they will normally send you a bill after they deliver the bag, and I have not received a bill yet, so I'm hoping I won't because it's been a few weeks now. I am prepared for the fact that I might get a customs bill in the post. Okay, the dog's starting to annoy me. I need to go down and sort him out, so we'll finish this video. I am very happy with this bag, although the shopping experience was not the best. I'm happy that my complaint was taken on board and rectified, and I would definitely consider buying from Joji Co again. I've had my eyes on some other bags that they've shared over the years, and I'd like to get a bigger bag that's more of a kind of tote bag, really. So that's what I'd really like to keep an eye out. But the tote bag they got on their website at the moment is nearly $300, and I think I'm not paying that for a tote bag. I have a upper limit of what I'm willing to spend on bags. Anyway, I love this bag. I've used it every day since I got it. I've shown it off on my podcast several times since I've been knitting on this project. So if you've been thinking about getting a Joji Co bag, I hope this will have helped you. Just so that there's no confusion, I did buy this bag. I paid for it. It was not gifted to me, and I've not been paid to make this video. It's just my honest views, because I know that you like my reviews on various knitting related products. Okay, apologies if my dog has been barking in the background. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm now going to go and see what the dog wants. And I hope you will be back for my next video. I will leave some videos on the screen here for you to choose from if you want to watch more. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment on this video. And I will see you next time.